Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Book Return, an Alva Inn Building Library podcast. I'm Zach, the Information Manager.
I'm Brittany, the Library Director.
And I'm Chloe, one of the clerks.
Hey, what's your favorite math problem?
Math problem, 1 + 1 = 2.
That checks out.
Or is it just that math is a problem?
It is a problem.
It is.
Something I've never been good at.
Nope, me either.
Me neither. I enjoyed algebra to a certain extent.
I have apparently passed it on to 2 of my 3 children.
Oh,
Which one is good at math?
Coralie.
Oh, that's awesome.
The little
Good
one.
for her, yeah.
I don't know where my oldest gets it, but he's loved math his entire life.
That's good.
And I've learned so much.
It's going to make life easier.
It is. That type of brain is not one that I was born with.
Me neither.
Same.
It was, yeah, you know what I am. I've been this way since I was born.
Yeah. Most of us who work here are more like creatively minded, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But there's math in everything.
That's true.
There is,
You
unfortunately.
don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Ever.
There's math in our topic today.
There is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, are we doing a
We're,
nonfiction?
we're not
episode?
just
We
talking
are.
about math for fun.
We would never.
You guys don't want to talk about your weekend? You don't want to give
We
your
can do
favorite
that.
math
Oh, yeah, we
problem?
can do-
You started with math, so I
Yeah.
thought you were just jumping in.
Well, kind of. It was going to be a seamless sieg.
Okay.
Math was relevant in our weekend because
Oh.
my daughter went to a horse show and she competed in several classes all weekend, and based on how you place in your classes, you get allotted a certain number of points. So she was keeping track of her points throughout the horse show to find out whether or not she was in the running for the end of the day high point award,
cool.
which she was reserve high point, but
Awesome.
I guess
Very good.
math and horses too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then want to get into the weeds, there's physics and everything, too.
Yeah.
Horse,
Chemistry.
they can't run without physics.
That's true.
I don't even totally know what that is.
Physics?
Physics, just the
Motion.
Things
yeah,
moving,
motion.
right? And
Motion and
Interactions
colliding.
between things.
Yeah, yeah. E equals MC
squared.
That's true. I think.
Is it squared? What if
Squared.
What if you do cubed?
It'll be different.
Okay.
I don't think it'll equal E anymore.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Chloe, do you have any math books?
I do. We didn't say we're doing the 500s. The early.
we
we're doing
are
the first half of the
first
500s,
half of the 500s.
Oh yeah.
which includes math, space, natural history, physics, chemistry, earth sciences.
Yeah.
Yes. I do have a math book. My Uncle Joe, who is an entomologist and very smart man, when I was a kid, he gave me a book called The Number Devil by Hans Magnus Enzensberger. And I loved it. It was like the story about a kid. It was like fiction, nonfiction. It was like a story about a kid who meets the number devil, and he like teaches him about math, like through all these like long-winded stories about how math is so cool and stuff. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Was it a picture book?
No, it's like a chapter book.
Okay.
It's like a
Okay.
tween kind of area. It was really cool.
Seems like the devil's a good guy teaching this
Yeah,
kid.
he's teaching him math.
Okay.
I don't really remember the conceit of like how this kid got to the number devil. I think they were just like in a cave.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
haven't read it since I was young, but I think about it like all the time.
You still own it?
No, I don't know where. I think I just borrowed it from him.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
fair. I always thought it was interesting that the idea of the number 0 didn't even exist for like thousands of years.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I imagine some cultures had a concept of 0,
Yeah.
but not
Just like in the
our
abstract.
math. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was Saudi Arabia or something came up with the idea, maybe Assyria. Somewhere in the Middle
Somewhere
East.
in the Middle East
Yeah.
is like where like modern math was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know how.
How would you write 10 or 20?
Oh, good question.
Well,
9 + 1?
they just did hash
19
marks.
+ 1?
I don't know.
And then it would just go to 21?
I guess Roman numerals
Yeah.
don't have a 0.
No, they don't.
True.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of numbers, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know if the Arabic the number convention is different.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they can't do, but good question.
That is a good question. I don't know how far back our numbers go.
either.
I didn't do
When
that
they
much
were- I
research
didn't
on
either.
the science behind the numbers themselves.
Yeah.
I just brought up math as a joke. Now I'm like interested.
It is
in
interesting.
It's crazy.
We've got a lot of cool math books back there that might answer the questions we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the internet.
That's true.
That's what I'll be doing.
I remember an episode of Stargate SG-1 where they're on a different planet and Colonel Carter is looking at some complex equations that the alien race on this planet have done, and she references the fact that it's base 8 math. And I've always wanted to look and see if base 8 math is really a thing, but then I never think to do it. So
Yeah, I don't know what
something
that
else
even means.
if Star Trek SG-1 invented a whole different concept of math.
I remember a quote by Richard Dawkins saying that computers would have come into fruition much earlier if we used a base 8 system. Like
So it must be a thing.
Yeah.
So what do we use now?
Interesting.
Base
Base
10.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Why?
I don't
know.
remember,
Okay.
but
Huh.
I guess, because we use a base 2 system for computers because that's binary.
Binary.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know. They're going up to the number 8. I don't know how that would change
Well, there's
stuff.
2 left over, 9 and 10. I don't know.
Yeah. where are they going? I'll send him a message. I'll get back to you on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Base 8 just seems random.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be something there because he's been a scientist forever.
I'm sure he's not just saying words for no reason.
He might.
No one would know the difference, right?
No,
It's true.
not at
Yeah.
all.
Who's gonna fact check him?
'Cause he comes from the pool of very heated debating atheists from like the mid to late 2000s, like him and Christopher Hitchens, Sam Raimi, Sam Harris,
I was
Sam
like,
Harris.
Sam
Say Sam
Raimi?
Raimi.
I didn't know he was a part of
He
it.
can do
Me
two
either.
things.
He could. I was
can
just
debate.
shocked. Yeah.
And so I think
Seems intelligent.
their whole appeal was just saying things that were very inflammatory, and that comes across in his books as well.
Oh, interesting.
But who would think that the guy that wrote The God Delusion was the confrontational?
Sure.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chloe, what do you get to add on math?
I said my one math book.
Okay, well that's good.
Yep.
Brittany,
That's all I got.
wow, you guys are doing math dirty.
What do you have?
Yeah.
I have the script to the number 23 with Jim Carrey.
Oh gosh, the whole script? No, you
No. Brittany, come on.
couldn't even say your name.
If you don't know what the number 23 is, it's a Jim Carrey movie.
Never heard of this movie.
Came out in 2004, I believe. And Jim Carrey in real life likes conspiracy theories, loves numerology. Think what?
Can you give us an overview on what numerology means?
Finding like hidden patterns in nature.
And meaning and numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you have to bend the rules a bit to fit it into this box.
Is that the thing where they letters have a number and you add up the letters in your name and
Yep.
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Jim Carrey's proof was that Joel Schumacher was the director. He was like, if you take all the letters in Joel Schumacher and Jim Carrey, it adds up to 23. And a lot
What's
of
that significance?
it's the number 23.
But what is the significance of
It's the director and Jim Carrey.
There is no significance.
okay.
It's
That's-
just a random fact.
That's
I
the
was
answer.
born on the 23rd.
See?
No.
Well-
Not really.
I always just found it interesting that people believed so heavily in this stuff. And for some reason, I was in my sex ed class in high school. It was like the last day our teacher handed us a bunch of like numerology.
What?
It was about like the JFK assassination, and
Oh, this was not part of the
this
curriculum.
is very soon after 9/11, and she
Oh,
went down that rabbit
interesting.
hole. She was like, if you spell Osama bin Laden backwards and add these numbers and then subtract 2, it adds up to 9/11.
Oh my
But
gosh.
not very far
That's
off from
ridiculous.
No,
that.
but these people are very serious about these things too.
Yeah.
They are.
Like these are the people who drink the Kool-Aid.
It's kind of scary.
By the gallon.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is like biblical. Like there's biblical
okay.
significance with the number 23 comes up a ton. And if you 2 divided by 3 is 0.666. That's all you need to tell them.
So is 23 a satanic number?
It's
Or is 666 the satanic number? Or is 23 satanic because of 666?
yeah, I think it's like
It's guilty by association.
It's like 666's cousin. Still
Okay.
pretty evil just by association.
Okay, interesting.
But it was also used in the Illuminati a ton.
The number 23?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So
Okay.
We can move on quick here, but I've got a 23. Oh, I didn't even. I went on Jim Carrey's website and they have 23 examples
Of course.
of this happening. Won't go through them all, but this says each parent contributes 23 chromosomes to the DNA of a child.
More or less, mostly.
Yeah, more or less. 23 seconds for blood to circulate through the entire body. More or less, I'm guessing.
That feels like it wouldn't be the same for every person.
I
don't think
would tend
so.
to agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Whenever you're bigger, your blood has to go farther.
Right.
Maybe your heart is beating faster.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Oh,
so
I don't
either.
think
His
so.
blood
either.
pressure varies a lot.
It does.
Widely.
Yeah. You can be 3 foot tall and have high blood pressure.
You could?
The one that they tend to latch on to, and this is the example that a lot of them give, is Julius Caesar was stabbed 23 times.
That feels...
And
Not
that is
intentional.
significant. Why? Like, what does that connect to?
Who knows?
Everything,
Right,
Brittany.
right.
Everything.
I did so much research and I'm much further away now than I was.
I feel like I need to see the movie. What is the movie about?
This is the whole thing. He starts
Is it a
seeing the number.
documentary?
That's
No.
what I was just going to ask. It's a.
Nope. He's oh god. Don't want to get into this because it's Model Land, the movie. Just because it's so out
Oh my
there.
gosh. I wish it was actually Model Land, the movie.
It's pretty close to the same level of absurdity.
Okay.
So he gets divorced from his wife. His name is William something. He gets this book written by an author. This is true. The author's first name is Topsy, Topsy.
Like the elephant that Edison killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the last name is Kret, Krett.
Top secret?
Top secret.
Oh, I didn't get it.
This is
I
it's
get
not
it.
supposed to be funny.
And I get it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those little things that you catch.
it's
but
so hidden and secret.
yeah, he's just not intelligent enough to make it like actually compelling. So yeah, gets this book by Top Secret that's about the number 23, and then he goes down the rabbit hole and he's like, my wife is going to die on this date because the Titanic sank on the morning of April 15th. 4 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 1 plus 2 is 23.
But why his wife?
Wow.
Okay.
They leaves it up to interpretation, I
Okay.
guess.
I guess we have to watch it now.
Kurt Cobain was born in 1967. 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 7, 23. He died 1994. 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4.
Anything
23.
that happened in 1967 would equal 23.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah, why is Kurt Cobain relevant?
because that's the only thing they could find in the giant
I think-
network.
You could do this with any number.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as
Can't-
we've established.
Can't tell them that, though. So,
I'm gonna
Anything
do
in
it.
1968 we could attribute to the number 24.
Yeah. Whoa.
So, yeah.
it gets really bad when it thinks it's onto something and it's like, oh, it comes up at 24. So what if we do that
Minus
number
one.
minus 1 plus all these others? It's like you can't just add and
You
subtract.
can't just decide what numbers to
No.
add and subtract. There
No.
has to be a pattern,
There has to be.
and there's not.
And there's so many of them that are like, it adds up to 32. So if you
Oh, it's
flip
backwards.
that around,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Put it in the
Goodness
mirror.
gracious.
I think it's interesting that humans are hardwired to just find patterns in everything. And
Often to our detriment.
yes.
Also, searching so much for something to latch onto and
Yes.
Meaning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why conspiracy theorists love to be around each other because it makes them feel separated from the
Validated.
rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like life sucks, but like I know this secret that other people don't.
Yeah. That makes it all okay.
Yeah. And then when you take it to an extreme, very funny.
And dangerous.
Funny and dangerous.
Right.
Yep. Yep. So there we go. That's what I got on the number 23. I was told that it's not math related, but I already did the research. So here we go. Here we go.
It seems sort of math related.
Yeah.
Fake
yeah.
math.
Yep. I'm just going to be
Nonsense
silent
math.
the rest of the episode.
That's all you
'cause
had.
well, there's Goodwill Hunting.
Yes.
And what's that movie with Russell Crowe? Right? Where he's a mathematician.
Oh, Beautiful Mind.
Yes, that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. There's Imitation Game
I love that
about
movie.
touring.
That's such a good
Seen
movie.
any of these movies?
When you would play for your class.
I still do.
Yeah.
We just watched it last week, actually.
Oh,
Sounds
nice.
good. Mm-hmm. They like it.
Yes, and the interesting thing about it is because Alan Turing was such a unique individual. And his life represents so many social abnormalities in so many different ways. It lends itself to a wonderful research paper.
I'm sure.
So
I want to watch it. I like Benedict Cumberbatch.
it was on Netflix. So no like issues. And I went to like hit the link because I just, link it from one semester to the next, and it's gone off Netflix.
No.
I had to find it. It's on Amazon Prime now.
Oh, okay.
So.
Netflix is just
Sucks.
going downhill,
And
man.
ads now.
Yeah, they got ads. They're just like overproducing their original content. They're losing the digital rights to stuff.
That's rough.
It's rough. Did you?
Sad
you
to see because they were on the forefront of like that whole streaming movement.
Yeah, and all of their original shows.
Yeah.
Like they would only produce maybe one a year, but they were great.
And now they go for quantity, which they still have some gems here and there, but I just
Yeah.
don't want to sort through the...
I don't know what they're gonna do after Stranger Things is done
Yeah.
because
Oh.
that's
That's
like
huge.
they're
The
resting.
flagship.
They're resting on that.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
a spinoff. Like that
Probably.
one terrible
Ugh.
episode when 11.
Oh
11?
yeah,
23.
went to
Well,
Chicago.
I was trying to make that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like her
That was terrible.
80s punk phase.
That was weird. It didn't feel like the rest of the show.
I could see them making a spinoff though, because they
Yeah.
have bad ideas over there.
That's true.
Yeah, they ruined Arrested Development.
They did.
Season 4 was an Amazon exclusive,
Netflix.
Netflix exclusive. Yeah, bad.
Yeah, the beginning of the show is so good, and then
Yeah,
it's just rough.
it was rough. Did you say Goodwill Hunting, Brittany?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. Those are all the math movies, I think.
They're the only ones I know of.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have any math movies.
they all like won Oscars, so maybe people need to make more movies about
Yeah.
math.
Yeah?
Yeah, I won't
Make it
do
more accessible to people.
I think the Imitation Game was less about math and more about code breaking, though.
That's fair. That's
So
fair.
Turing was a
Tangentially.
mathematician, but
Sure.
that one had more going for it than just the math.
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a math genius that's around that's been treaded multiple times. Can't really do anything new with it.
Maybe not.
No. It's not going to be a guy that discovers algebra who wants to watch that.
Yeah, I don't know if there's new math anymore.
Like in
To
you
discover.
math? Okay.
What?
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a different branch of mathematics. Like
New math.
New math. Like
I think
new
it's
metal.
new science that uses math to get
Oh,
there,
true, true,
maybe.
true. Yeah, they're all
Okay.
interconnected.
Yeah.
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 I didn't just have to mention it like every other person over 30. What happened to math? Like seeing like the math that kids do now. It's so complicated and convoluted.
My daughter was in 4th grade last year, and we went on vacation for a week, and her teachers sent all of her work with her, and that included her math. And her math, like, I knew how to do it, but I didn't know how to do it the way they were trying to teach them how to do it.
Right.
It was so much more complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah.
That she would end up in tears by the time that like we were done with the math lesson
Jeez.
because it's so non-intuitive the way that they're trying to teach them how to do
Sure.
it. When I say they, I don't know who they actually is, whoever writes the curriculum.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was rough.
What's the significance of the change? Like why did
I
they
don't know.
switch it
They
up?
they trying to use number lines and tape diagrams to teach them just simple addition.
Bad. Like just stack them on top of each other.
Sounds
Right.
overcomplicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're trying to think through mental math, you can't like visualize how things lay out on a tape diagram.
Right. Exactly.
it's
Like
too much.
why on earth?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they're trying to break like rote memorization for mathematics, but like you kind of
I
need that
don't know.
memorization
Yeah, you
because
need
like
both.
you pull that to solve other
You need to be
problems.
able to do
building
the
block.
processes also.
Yeah.
And if you're relying on having to have a piece of paper and a pencil to be able to write all these numbers down on a number line before you can figure them out, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't do that mentally.
No, and then, like kids already have an aversion to math. That's not going to help
Yes.
anything.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I would have dropped out after the first grade.
Right.
Heartbeat.
We need the number devil.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. Isn't that what Machine Gun Kelly's diss track on Eminem was called?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it actually?
I
I thought it was Rap God.
That's okay. Yep. Rap God is Eminem, and so
Yeah.
MGK, who he came out with Rap Devil.
Right.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yep.
Rap Devil, Number Devil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not great.
No, it
Math.
wasn't.
Math.
And that was the end of Machine Gun Kelly.
It was.
If we want to carry that story out to fruition,
Yeah, that's the end.
Love that.
then he became a pop star.
He did.
So weird. So
Like,
just bad.
Immediately, like and a week later,
So strange.
he like grew a pencil mustache, looked like Vincent Price.
Doesn't work.
Changed everything.
Doesn't work. It works better for Vincent Price.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, then 2 weeks ago, like out of nowhere, he tweets, "Eminem didn't win that."
Why would you bring it up again? Because
Nobody-
no one agrees with you.
Nope,
He just doesn't have enough attention. I
he
guess.
doesn't.
Yeah.
But marrying
Sad.
Megan Fox isn't enough for you.
Yeah, I guess.
Weird little goober. Math.
Yep.
I think we've
Let's
covered
move on.
math.
Yeah, that's as much math as I can take.
Yeah. Physics?
Hey, that's
Similar to math.
kind of math.
I have like one physics movie. Donnie Darko.
Oh.
Which
Very
like
nice.
isn't real physics. No, I don't think so. I couldn't follow it.
Inception, also
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
Okay.
physics,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
Didn't see it, but it sounds right.
I didn't either.
Everything is like bendy and turns upside down, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
yeah.
Sounds physicsy.
Also Matrix,
Yeah, there's like
right?
ones
Because
and
Neo
zeros.
can control physics.
Yeah, yeah.
Bullet time.
Right.
Yeah. I love Donnie Darko.
But did you see the sequel?
No.
Bad.
I heard it was terrible. I enjoy that, like, when they're like, the math, and I'm like, I don't have to understand any of it. It was
No.
perfect. Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. Let them do the
sounds
work.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I feel like if you were really good at physics, you wouldn't like the movie as much because you would poke
Probably.
holes and like it's like that's not how that works.
Yeah. Luckily, they don't try to explain it.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
good.
are like, we're just going to let it not make sense, I think.
And we're just assuming that they're doing it accurately.
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's fine.
I don't
Movie.
like Goodwill Hunting. Was that even a real math problem? Who knows?
Didn't see it.
Yeah. If it hadn't been, we would know about it by now.
Certainly. Yeah,
Someone
Yeah.
would have,
100%.
Yeah.
Physics.
Physics.
I like games with physics.
Yeah. I loved physics in school.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you define physics in 2 paragraphs
2 paragraphs?
or less?
I would say, we kind of said it at the beginning, it's like how objects move and interact with each other.
Yeah.
And the forces in between them.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know how to talk about it. Everything's got physics.
Yeah. Like literally.
Yeah. So you guys ever play Grand Theft Auto 4?
Nope.
It was
Never played
built.
GTA.
It was built on the physics engine called Euphoria. Thought that was like the future of gaming because every character in the game had like their own bone structure, and like they would fall very naturally and never the same way twice.
Interesting.
And then they
Yes.
never used it again.
Yeah.
There's one other game that
Why?
used
Was
it.
it too much work?
Probably
Or did they just make something better?
no,
Oh.
because in GTA 5, like the physics are nowhere near as good.
Interesting.
the-
So just too much work then.
Yeah.
I think so. The
Sounds
game
like
was
it.
huge. I think it was like much bigger than 4. So maybe incorporating that engine would have just been too many resources.
Sure.
So that's a lot of stuff to attach physics to.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a
Always-
football game called Backbreaker, and it used Euphoria. It was just kind of a tech demo that they released. Not a very good game, but cool tackles.
That sounds fun.
What are you going to say before I talked about Backbreaker?
I was just going to say, like, physics in school was fun because it was, like, the most hands-on class. We'd do a lot of, like, building things to see if they worked and applying
Oh.
the stuff.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
My physics class, we just took tests.
Just more math, basically.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
sucks.
It was a bummer.
It's
Brittany,
sad.
what's your take on physics? Good or bad?
Interesting.
Sure.
I do think that things like that, like when you sit down and really think about them, it's astounding
Yeah, for sure.
that all of the different kind of things that go into making things work. And if you think about how much physics is included in our solar system, and
Oh, God,
like
seriously.
it's all the connections are just like you can't even fathom them.
Yeah. I mean,
So in that case, interesting.
Yeah.
And the case that physics also uses a lot of math that I cannot do.
Too much math.
no thanks.
I
lot of
was a
formulas.
chemistry student, not a physics
Oh, I
student.
love chemistry too.
also love chemistry.
So
Yeah, chemistry was so fun.
It's crazy that we didn't have the number 0 forever, and now we've got physics.
Yeah,
I know that there's time in between those two. But
lot
We've
of
come a
time.
long way.
we have.
Like, just the mathematics and the physics calculations that went into sending the first Apollo mission.
Sure.
Like, you can't.
And if you make one error,
Yeah.
like
Dead.
you're holding people's lives in your hands
Yeah.
with your math skills.
Exactly. And this is all just like partially theoretical as well,
Right.
because
Yes.
it
Yes.
has never been done on that scale.
Like
Right.
you're testing it out.
Yeah.
You don't know.
The amount of hubris that must be involved with these people.
That's true.
Thank God.
Should we
Yes.
transition to space?
Ooh.
Or do we want to take a break first?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh,
There were 2 questions there. Which
That's
one were
fair.
you answering?
you bet. I was just about to mention something terrible about the Challenger
No, go
explosion.
ahead.
Oh, go
Yeah.
do it.
The,
It's a good way
uh,
to go out.
Is it the black box? The
Oh,
fails?
you
The,
said this before.
yeah.
They were alive for a while.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. A lot of them died by the impact of hitting the.
There is a
the water.
really real. Did we
Horrible.
talk about this before? A really, really interesting conspiracy theory that they are still alive.
Oh my gosh.
And there are people who have made connections like all over the globe.
Numerology connections.
No, just like this person can correspond to this person. They look very similar. Like their jobs are very similar. Their areas of expertise very similar. It's like also a rabbit hole.
So insane.
People have too much time.
Well, and I don't understand, like, why would anyone even think to, like, do that?
Like, what is the goal?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and then to
the
get
the government is lying to us all.
Yeah.
You know.
For some reason.
Yep. It's just like when you hear the moon landing was faked.
Right.
It's like the number of people that would have had to be in on it, and not a single whistleblower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not even an accidental leak.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
exactly.
can't be quiet about anything.
No.
No.
We have
We're
like
social.
ultra powerful telescopes that we can actually like see where we landed. That should
the
be
feet prints.
definitive. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Seems indisputable.
Should be. Why would the Challenger crew fake their death and then
because
get back
those-
into the same job?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Also, those telescope photos are faked. They're just, they're not real.
Yeah,
Right.
the deep state put in
Yes.
technology with the telescopes that
Yeah.
when you get too
All
close.
the deep states
Yep.
in all the countries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Want to do an ad break?
Let's do it.
Sure.
There we go. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good programs.
Lots of stuff coming up.
Yes.
So, Chloe, you said that you had a really interesting quote to bring us into astronomy.
Why are you doing this to me? I have nothing. You must have a quote.
Okay, I do not.
Oh, what?
I thought you mentioned that you had a quote.
No. When did you think I said that?
I don't know.
What is this?
Just come up with one.
No,
Just come up
I
with
can't.
Space.
I have
one small step for man, one
mankind.
giant leap for mankind.
Yeah, that's what it
There we go.
There we
There
go.
we go.
That's
Got
a
it.
good quote.
That is a good quote. Neil
have some-
deGrasse Tyson said that.
Yes, that's exactly who
At some
said it
point.
in his
probably
second
said it at
in
some
his
point.
Yeah.
second moon mission.
Yeah.
That dude was like jacked back in the 80s.
Didn't
Like
know that.
he had tree trunks for arms.
Really?
Yeah.
From all that typing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, furious
All that
typing.
pencil pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, that just makes me think of Predator.
Oh.
What's the matter, CIA? Gotten you pushing too many pencils? That's the meme where Arnold's arm and Carl Weathers. They're like,
Oh, Carl
doing-
Weathers.
I love Carl Weathers. They're doing the in-air arm wrestling.
Oh, I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what that was from.
Yep.
Nice.
Best movie of all time.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
I have a good space book
Ah.
that we have here. It's called The Milky Way, an Autobiography of Our Galaxy by
Oh.
Moya McTeer.
Very cool.
It was really good. It was like a little over my head at times, but written to be accessible, I think.
Cool.
And very silly, because it's like from the perspective of the Milky Way. So it's kind of funny at
Interesting.
times.
And she's like the podcaster / comedian /
She
astrophysicist.
is. She's an astrophysicist. She has like her PhD in that, I think.
Yeah.
But then she also is like a comedian and goes on podcasts and is like silly and really smart. I really like her.
Insane. Too much talent for one person.
Right.
Honestly. Good book, though, if you're interested in space.
Yeah. I think I have that checked out right now.
You don't, because I looked,
What
and
do
it
I
says
have?
it's on the shelf, but I didn't see it on the shelf. So it might be a new still. I didn't look there.
Pretty sure I
Maybe
checked.
you have it and it's not actually checked out.
That might be.
That doesn't sound like me.
That is stellar librarianship there.
Let's just say, hypothetically, I was going to check it out, but somebody turned the computers off prematurely.
That could happen. And then you just took it home.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was like, I have to read
So
this
you
tonight.
have thieved
Well,
from the library.
Could
borrowed.
not read it in one night. It's a little dense.
I just wanted to start it that night.
Okay. And did you?
No,
Yeah.
it's like 6 months ago.
Oh, no.
I
It's a
don't worry.
good book.
Like, I want to read it.
Okay.
I got a bunch of books on space that I've enjoyed.
You gonna talk about any of them?
One is called "Why I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming."
Ah,
Just
I
about
think
the
I've heard of that actually.
really good, and is written by one of the heads of the committee that demoted it to a
Aw.
dwarf planet.
How sad.
Yeah, but really funny, like pretty short, and just kind of like insight on why it's not really a planet.
Sounds interesting.
But I still can't get over the fact that there's 8 planets. So
It's weird. Doesn't seem
weird.
right.
More than that actually. Yeah.
it's bananas. Didn't even been watching this song on YouTube that my 3-year-old likes. It's about the dwarf planets, and learned a lot because I couldn't have named a single dwarf planet up
Besides
until that,
Pluto?
Except for Pluto.
except for Pluto.
That's the only one I can name.
There's 2 that are called Ceres. Like
Are
they
they
didn't.
spelled the same?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Interesting.
One might be like Siri, and then the other Ceres.
Ceres. Wasn't that the name of the asteroid in the Expanse? Ceres Station?
I think so.
Yeah,
Maybe that's where they got it from.
maybe.
Could be.
And Maki Maki is one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
crazy.
Is that a Hawaiian dwarf planet? Because that's what it brings to mind.
But, yeah, I
Maybe
don't-
because of Mahi Mahi.
Could be.
Probably. It's the only one that had like that weird name convention.
Interesting.
But yeah. Why I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming. Good book.
Sounds good.
Have you read any other space books?
I don't have any books. There's Hidden Figures. I haven't read that. I really want to. I have some movies.
Which was also made into a film.
Yes, true. Mhm. I haven't seen it either.
I haven't
Janelle
either.
Monáe.
I didn't know she was in that.
Yep.
That's cool.
She's
I like her.
also too much talent for one person.
Honestly, yes. A Trip to the Moon from 1902. It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
good.
That's the one
French.
where the moon gets the
A rocket in the eye.
yep. It's just a very harrowing image.
It's really fun. I like it. It's just a short, silent film by a French man.
How did they come up with that special effect and
The
like
effects
that?
are really cool for 1902.
It's insane.
A lot of claymation and stop motion, but then a lot of it is just straight up live action. It's been colorized since, so you can watch it in the original black and white or in color.
I feel like I'd
like
rather
the
watch it
black
in
and
black and white.
The color's
Yeah, I
distracting.
think I would.
Yeah.
I would too.
It's and it's not like been colorized well, so
I was gonna say,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it just look very artificial.
I like the black and white, but it's fun. It's very enjoyable and short.
Yeah, I think I watched the whole thing on YouTube a
Yeah.
couple years ago.
I think it's on maybe like Disney Plus also.
Oh
But
yeah,
YouTube is fine.
yeah. It's okay.
You didn't like it?
No, YouTube is a concept.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Oh,
getting more and more frustrated
That's
with
fair.
it because it's election season.
Yeah, the ads
And-
are a nightmare.
Yeah. And my 7-year-old is watching a how-to video on Cuphead, and it's like Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
The-
you don't need political ads on stuff like that.
no, and it's only political ads at this point
That's
on
true.
both sides.
Yeah.
But my 7-year-old should not know where Mike Rogers stands on different issues.
No, probably not.
It's just weird.
and there's a designation for children's programming on YouTube as well, right?
Yep.
I don't think
Yes.
Yeah.
people utilize it much because it greatly limits their ad revenue that they
Yeah,
can make.
Yeah.
Which is very
interesting.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
Because they should use it. Because children shouldn't be exposed to ads for adults.
they should
Or
not.
ads, really.
Yeah, I have stopped letting him use YouTube anywhere near as much. And then if he does, I'm in the same room with him.
That's good.
So I can tell him that this politician didn't literally murder anybody. They're filling in some blinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Did you guys watch Apollo 13?
Yeah.
Steven
It's
Spielberg.
one of those movies, like old movies that really still holds up.
Yeah. definitely. Like phenomenal effects.
The acting holds up. The script holds up.
Was Gary Sinise and
Yes.
Tom Hanks in that one?
Yeah.
Okay. They were in 2 movies together.
What's the other one?
Was he in? No, wait. Was Gary Sinise in that? Why do I want to say that was? I had a saying Bill Paxton was also in that.
He might have been. I feel like I would have made the connection between Forrest Gump was the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gary
That makes
Sinise was Lieutenant Dan.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He has legs in real life. Which is
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has legs for some of the movie.
true.
So I assumed he had legs in real life.
Then they had to take them off.
And then they reattached him.
Bill Paxton, Tom Hanks and Bill Paxton. Let's see if Lieutenant Dan, Kevin Bacon,
Lieutenant.
and Gary Sinise and Ed Harris. Yep.
Crazy.
What a cast.
Yeah, it
That was a
good
great cast. The guy from Wild Things, the guy from Truman Show, and the rest.
And the rest.
What does Kevin Bacon do anymore?
I don't know.
Hangs out with his wife.
That's nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Like, sounds lovely.
Yeah.
But to some, I'm sure. Not so much me.
I think they like each other.
Yeah, I think so.
So much me.
We'll cut that out.
No, we won't.
I think it's fine.
Totally fair. Yeah. I'm not being overly specific. I don't
Whatever.
think.
That's. It's not like breaking news.
No, not at all. If you could go to one planet.
Oh. And not die?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
And not die.
Venus.
Why
Yeah.
Venus?
Because it's supposed to be the closest in composition and makeup to ours.
Okay.
So I would like to see what that would be like.
That would be
That
interesting.
would be interesting. Interesting that it's the hottest planet, but not the closest to the
I
sun.
didn't know that.
Venus has a lower atmosphere, which traps the heat much better. So it's just like
Interesting.
constantly cooking. Well, and
Maybe.
Uranus is the coldest planet,
Oh,
even though it's not the furthest away.
fun fact.
Yeah.
Also, I read a weird thing that said that at some point in time, Neptune and Uranus may have been in opposite
Oh, that's
spots.
crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wonder how they would even determine that.
I
I
don't,
don't know. It had to I didn't read the entire thing because I had lots of other things I was looking
That's
at.
fair.
But it had something to do with their original orbits, and
Huh.
somehow their orbits had
That's crazy.
switched them in position.
That is crazy.
That was the first time I'd ever seen that, so it may be an out there theory,
Sure.
Yeah.
or a relatively new theory.
Like
So,
the shareholders were like, NASA, well, you need to release something.
something.
You haven't given us
something.
anything.
The Webb
Yeah.
telescope's not enough.
Yeah.
We need something else.
I thought it was fascinating that in the 80s, when they, like some of the first like clear images of Neptune, there was a giant storm that was bigger than Jupiter's.
Oh, wow.
And then a few years later, it was gone.
Which is shrinking, by the way.
Is it?
Jupiter's storm
Did not know
is
that.
shrinking. Yeah, getting smaller.
How far do you think it is in regards to time?
I don't know.
Like, is this like
Does
light
time
year?
and distance have a relative correlation?
Well, I mean, we measure stuff in light years.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So when we see Jupiter, are we seeing Jupiter from like, I don't know, April?
I don't know.
sure.
It would depend on how fast the speed of light is between here and Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And I do not know.
Yeah.
there are some images that we get back in the telescopes that are at least 4 years old.
Yeah.
So,
Bananas.
right.
It is bananas.
But I get so much creeping dread talking about
Space
space.
is terrifying.
It is.
Like, for real, two things. What is dark matter?
I don't know.
Neither does anyone else.
Nobody.
And that's
But
scary.
it's
So
everywhere.
it has gravity, but it's invisible and you can't see it.
Yeah.
Or
And
touch it.
What on earth is it then?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't like that it's like acting on stuff, but we don't
Yeah.
know.
We don't right.
We only know it's there because it has an effect on things.
Things,
Yeah.
but we don't know what that effect is, and we
Yeah.
don't know what causes it, and we
Yep.
don't know what it's made of.
It seems very
Like
scary.
that is just bananas and coconuts.
It is.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah,
words dark matter are very scary, but cool.
Terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a
But-
very sick name.
Is
Right.
it insidious? Who knows?
We don't know.
also what
Probably.
causes it? What's it? Yeah.
Where does it come
Eh.
There's so much.
Like,
And then the
yeah.
same. What is a black hole? Like, really, what is it? I know what
Yeah.
I know what TV says it is. What is it?
It's the result.
And if there's a black hole, are there white holes? Like, is there a theoretical opposite to a black hole?
Could be. I've never heard of a white hole.
I haven't either, but
Black holes, whenever a supernova collapses into itself, and
Right.
it just absorbs
So much
everything around it.
gravity.
right.
Yeah.
But then
Where does stuff go?
What does it do? Right. Where does it
Yeah.
go?
Where's that mass now?
Yeah.
Just
Tell us.
Because
stardust.
matter
Where is
can't
it?
be
Created or
destroyed.
Nope, but
So where is it?
it gets demoleculed.
What does that mean?
So basically, it stretches stuff to like a breaking
Spaghetti
point.
strings.
Yes,
I
and that's
don't
what
like
they
it.
that's what they
I
call
don't-
it.
I don't like it either.
What
Like
is
if-
that? Where does it go then?
It just disintegrates
To
basically.
where?
It just back into space.
Okay.
So it does escape the black hole?
You know, I can't speak confidently on any of
That's
this.
fair. Yeah, that sounds. Yeah.
I don't know if
Did you know that the 1979 Disney film The Black Hole was the first depiction of a black hole in film?
Did not know that.
I don't think I know that movie.
Yeah, I don't think I do either. Interesting.
Is it good?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
it is.
cool.
They had their little, like, between 79 and the mid 80s, their little space age where they made the
Yeah.
black hole and they did
Oh, yeah.
Tron. And
Oh, okay.
yeah.
The
Interesting.
first Starfighter or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
The Last Starfighter.
Last Starfighter. That's
yeah.
right. I was thinking of the prequel.
Yeah.
First.
It was really interesting to see kind of what the concepts were and how they utilized some of the Star Wars technology that they used at the time, but
Okay.
some not. A
Interesting.
lot more traditional kind of film techniques than Star Wars used. But it was, very interesting. And the concept of the black hole in that film was that it did, like, draw stuff in. Although Neil deGrasse Tyson has said that it's the most scientifically inaccurate movie ever made.
my God. Which
That's
is saying a
harsh.
lot.
That's harsh.
He rips movies apart all the
It
time.
does. I feel like that can't be true.
Like
Yeah, there's got to
Yeah.
be something worse,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
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 Well, is it one of those Jurassic Park situations where their depiction of a black hole was kind of assumed and used like years after that? 'Cause,
Maybe.
you know, like with dinosaurs,
Maybe
that's what
it
people thought
does.
they
It
looked
does
like.
assume that there is an event horizon. It talks about the event horizon, and that it talks about the gravity well and the gravity field. It is easier to kind of escape the gravity field in that. I would think, but it also the concept around it is a spaceship comes upon a abandoned spaceship at the event horizon of a black hole. It is the second spaceship is one that has been lost to space for years and years. And on that spaceship they find one lone survivor and lots of like androids,
Oh, interesting.
without giving away spoilers. And this one lone scientist left on the ship wants to go through the black hole to find their way to an alternate dimension or universe.
Interesting.
So I think that's where the most inaccurate
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
is
How
going
it
to come
works.
in, because pretty sure black holes and wormholes were at that point in time being kind of like confused for one
Yeah.
another.
Okay,
Right,
that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Wormholes you can create on a whim, apparently.
Guess.
The right technology.
But should we?
And is a wormhole real?
I don't know.
Is it like a force field? Like, who knows? Kind of like
I mean-
tangentially related to real concepts, but
I have to go back and watch
Hollywoodized.
DS9 again.
There you go.
yes, that's
And
what I have
Stargate.
in my mind. Very, very cool effects. There's an app that has like realistic, like the closest actual depiction of the distance between planets. It's just a side-scrolling thing. So you start at the sun and you scroll for a few seconds, and you get to Mercury.
Okay.
And then you get to Mars, and it's all just like 3 or 4 seconds. And then the distance between Mars and Jupiter, like basically it'd be like if Mars was the size of like my pinky tip,
Uh-huh.
Jupiter would be probably at the end of the field. over there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, just like insane. You're scrolling for at least 5 minutes
Wow.
before you see
Wow.
another planet.
Scale like that does not make sense to me.
It does not, especially
No,
when you
me
see
either.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see the orbits like in all of the textbooks in school, and that just does not give you the
that's
right
not how they're
scale.
spaced out in the
No, and the
textbooks.
other thing about that is they're constantly saying that the universe is expanding, so everything's getting farther apart.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's it going? I don't. Where's it gonna go?
Is there an edge? There has to be an edge.
know.
Because before the Big Bang, what was outside of that
don't
contained
know.
energy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Just more energy?
There had to have
I'm
been
gonna
multiple
freak
Big
out.
Bangs though, because there can't just be one. Because there's stuff outside of like what we can see and observe.
Like, who even knows?
I know.
There's got to be an edge of something. Like the concept of infinity.
Yeah, that
In
messes
space.
me up.
Like,
It's not right.
no,
Yeah.
can't be.
Yeah.
How many solar systems they are? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
No.
it cripples me.
Yeah.
And apparently there's going to be a time where like everything is so far apart that it's just like complete darkness. Like all the stars die out in
How far away is that?
30 years.
3 years?
Probably I think
That doesn't sound right.
it's like the several 100 billion years, I
Okay.
think.
That's encouraging, I guess.
I
Yeah.
did read that 1 in 6 stars has at least one planet.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's a lot of planets.
Yeah. And if you're stretching like trillions upon trillions.
And some of them have multiple planets, so there
Yeah.
would be, multiple solar systems.
Yeah. And a lot of them fall into the Goldilocks zone,
Yes.
which the small fraction of that could habit like alien life.
Yeah.
Seem like if you're
There's gotta
saying
be.
if you're
Well,
saying like 1/1 billionth of those planets have alien life, there's still like
And
no-
if you think about the fact that like we are one solar system within a giant galaxy that we can't even observe the entire galaxy, but there are multiple galaxies.
Yes.
Yeah.
like
like
yeah,
a crazy number of
I
them.
know it. Did you know that Neptune has only made one revolution of its orbit since being discovered?
Oh my
my
gosh.
Because
That's huge.
yeah, it was discovered in 1846, and it's only made one revolution around the sun since its discovery.
I guess that makes sense using
Its orbit is
field
like
size.
134, 36 years or something like that.
That's
it's a very long time to travel that
a
way.
long year.
Yes. But considering how far away it is, that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
almost doesn't seem that bad. Like they must be moving very fast.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I can't even. I think things that I can't envision on an accurate scale is crippling to me.
Yeah, I don't
So
like
scary.
it at all. Very
Here's the other
unsettling.
question, and I'm sure there's an explanation. What keeps the gas giants from expanding?
Atmosphere? What is that? I don't know.
Right, but it's just gas. So,
Yeah.
like, how is it not just
Yeah.
traveling through their
I
atmosphere?
don't know.
Well, and then just thinking about like if you take a step onto Jupiter, you just fall
Fall
into it.
in. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it has a core, a solid
Right.
core.
Yep.
But yeah, the rest of it is just like,
So I guess just the gravity of that pulling.
it
Yeah.
must be.
Has to
Yeah.
be. It's like pulling in on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But what makes that small core have such strong gravity that it keeps
All this gas.
the rest of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dense.
like all planets are just these big rocks that formed after the initial explosion, and why are they so disparate
Right.
in
Yeah.
material and
Right.
appearance and size? No clue.
Yeah. Nope.
I try not to think about it. There's a game called Space Simulator you can find on Steam or free on their website. And the whole thing is you have a camera and you're just like flying around our solar system, but it stretches like to trillions of galaxies.
Oh my god.
And so you can go as fast as you want.
How accurate is it?
Well, our galaxy is accurate. The rest of the universe is just kind of like,
Theoretical.
Speculation.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
randomly generated.
That's cool though.
But if you see like just a tiny nebula, like 1,000 light years away, you can travel there in just a few seconds. But like there's so much like darkness and emptiness that I had to uninstall
With
it
dark
I was
matter.
yeah,
Yeah.
I uninstalled it because I had a legitimate started to have a panic attack. It was
Scary,
I didn't know I
yeah.
was that afraid of space.
Oh, yeah.
But well,
Couldn't pay me to go there, I don't think.
it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Or anywhere in space, really.
yeah.
Right. I found a fun fact while I was reading about this that so when a star the color of its tail is based on what element that star is made out of.
That makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. I still don't know why they burn differently, like color-wise.
Well, elements burn differently.
Fair, but like
If you think of phosphorus burning differently than, I don't know what else burns, but
it's just hard for me to wrap my
Yeah.
head around like why some have certain elements and others have others. But I'm
also
not a
I read
scientist.
that when stars do go supernova and they, explode and whatnot, they create precious metals like platinum and gold.
Okay,
And yeah,
it's insane.
I know.
We're constantly finding more out about space that doesn't help my fears.
Doesn't
at
help
all.
Anything at all because
No.
we can't get there.
No.
These dumb scientists aren't making spaceships
Seriously.
that will actually get us there.
Yeah, I think they should take a break and just get us to another place.
Yeah, calm down, guys.
Yeah,
Redirect your efforts.
Can we please have a hyperspace generator, please?
Yes.
please, for other people to use because I
Oh, a
won't be
warp
anywhere
drive
near
will
it.
do it.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we maybe fix our planet while we're
Right. Right.
Nah,
It's falling
just find
apart.
another one.
Yeah, I guess.
Forgot what I was gonna say. No. I brought this to a crashing halt.
That's
This was on the tip of my tongue and I was gone.
We've got some...
What are your thoughts about the multiverse
Oh,
or multi-dimensions?
Like, I don't necessarily believe that, but at the same time, if we're reaching almost infinity, it's like the whole put monkeys in a room and they'll write the Umberto
Shakespeare.
Eco. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, so I guess if you have several quadrillion different variations in other galaxies.
I don't disbelieve the parallel universes thing, but I don't necessarily believe it either. It seems plausible,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to study the facts. I got to look at the math.
Yeah.
See if it's
You
legit.
gotta check
Hold
out the
on.
math.
Let me
Yeah.
check out that equation
Yeah,
first.
Yes.
to make sure they carried all the ones. I looked into it a little bit a while ago, and I was like, this theory seems sound. I don't understand it.
Yeah, not at all.
It could happen.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though, so...
And several scientists believe in it. Just, I don't know what the
It's
word
enough
is.
for me.
Yeah, same. I'm not smart enough to do the work.
Yeah,
So
I like the idea of
If they
it.
can tell me anything, I'll believe it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not every scientist. But
Not all
some.
scientists are created equal.
But that's very
That's
true.
true.
Yes.
That is very true.
What do you think, Brittany?
I'm much along the same lines as Chloe.
Yeah.
Plausible, and won't be surprised if it's proven to be true.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that might be a long time,
Yeah.
though. I don't know that we are equipped to prove it.
Maybe
or
not
just
yet.
prove it.
Yeah. I think we'll
It's interesting.
hit the, what do they call it? The Great Barrier long before we discover anything.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Destroy ourselves first.
The aliens
think
will
so.
stop us from discovering it.
Yeah.
probably. The idea of there not being aliens is so insane to me.
There's
Yeah.
gotta be.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I do agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even if they don't fit our current idea of what other life forms are.
Talk about hubris.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
We're the
We
smartest.
can't conceive of it.
We're the only ones
Yeah.
out there in this infinite.
Yep.
And infinite. Yeah, infinity. There's no way. Yeah.
It's like if you shove a cat in a box and leave it there for months, it's going to think it's the only living thing in the world.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe.
It might be alive or it might not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on whose cat it is.
Very true. Oh, scary stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got some trivia. Does anyone have
Yay.
anything else to add before we do the trivia?
I don't think so.
I was going to talk a little bit about weather stuff.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah.
Only one interesting thing that I came across. Well, there's several, but the one that I did some research on was something called blood rain.
Oh.
Oh.
So
Okay.
certain parts of the world, rain can appear red, giving the impression of blood rain. And it occurs when dusts or particles rich in iron or
That makes
red-colored
sense.
algae
It does.
mix with rain droplets.
Okay.
That does make sense.
That's scary.
So, yeah, the first the incident was in 2001 in India.
That was not very long ago.
No.
It
No.
definitely happened before that.
You would
Yes,
think.
It's happened.
Maybe the first measured or
Yeah, I think so.
observed. That seems very recent.
Extremely.
Insanely so.
We've been recording weather for a lot longer than that.
Yeah, so maybe I think this one was like a downpour that lasted like days.
Oh gosh, okay.
And so,
First, like, significant recorded
yeah,
incident.
yeah. And a lot of the inhabitants thought it was like this divine thing.
They would.
Raining blood doesn't seem like a good thing.
I would think it's the end times.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Yeah.
One of the first big theories, which was shared by some scientists, surprisingly, was the meteor fragment theory.
Oh.
So the government thought that the blood rain was caused by the disintegration of a meteor in the upper atmosphere,
Okay.
and the dust or fragments from the meteor mixed with the rainwater, creating the weird red color.
I can see where
plausible.
that would come from.
Yeah. They also said could be aliens. The
I
blood
mean,
droplets.
sure
Yeah,
know.
aliens kind of coming down. They travel.
Oh.
There's actually a word for the idea of aliens traveling via meteor, which I had never heard of it before. It's called transpermia, and it posits that life could be spread across the universe via comets and meteoroids. But then they did a bunch of tests on the rain, and they're like, no, it's actually green algae. And after a big windstorm, a lot of that got swept up into the air. And there's
Okay.
something that happens when algae mixes with rainwater that oozes something red. And so that was they did DNA tests and stuff. So yes, the
Interesting.
algae's red pigments rather than aliens.
Okay.
Came
I
down.
mean,
That makes sense.
does make
disappointing,
sense.
but
A
okay.
little bit,
very,
yeah.
very disappointing.
A lot
But-
of stuff is just algae.
Maybe they're covering it up.
Maybe.
That's what's happening. Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Definitely.
Okay, I think that's all I got.
Shall we do some trivia?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do it. I was trying to make September 2001 into a 23.
23.
Oh, gosh.
Couldn't do it.
I'm sure they've got a way.
9 plus 20 is 29.
Why are
Minus,
you adding 20? Oh,
So-
2020.
yeah, 20,
2001.
2001, which comes up with 29. And then if you add one more, it's 30.
And if you take away 7,
It's
23.
Because that was John Elway's number.
Oh, and he
I
was
like it.
a part of 9/11.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Trivia!
Trivia.
There we go. Blood rate.
How do we want to do this?
We didn't
know.
really discuss that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I've got
Just wing it.
space chemistry and physics questions.
Okay.
And I've got earth science, weather, and math.
Okay.
So, you wanna do yours?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll start with
How hard are these?
a mix. I
Okay.
feel like a mix.
Okay.
I tried to pick ones that I thought were either interesting or you would have a chance at.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll do physics. How many times hotter than the sun is lightning?
7.
10.
3.
Okay.
Yeah. Which surprised me. I didn't know lightning was hotter than the sun.
Yeah.
Like, people survive it.
Me either. How
That's
would
crazy.
you measure that?
I don't know.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Also, 2 objects, 3.
What?
I'm over it.
Oh, 23. Oh,
Yep. Keep going.
What year was the sound barrier first broken and by whom?
Ooh.
You guys know anything about that? I didn't know anything about
No.
that.
Is it broken by a jet?
That's what I was going to say. It's got to be like Air Force something.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was an Air Force
Is it the 1970s?
1947.
Wow.
Much earlier
Okay.
than I thought.
Yeah.
Chuck Yeager, and he was an Air Force pilot. They were testing high-speed flight. He broke 2 ribs 2 days before, falling
Oof.
off of a horse.
Oh, dear.
And he kept it a secret because he didn't want to be removed from the mission and replaced. Because he'd been training for it for so long.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck.
And he couldn't even shut the hatch himself. They had to help him. And he had a friend who was kind of covering up his injury, and they rigged something with a broomstick to make the hatch shut.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Yes,
That's
he did it.
interesting.
They could have just put it off a week.
They probably wouldn't have though.
I don't
Probably
think
They probably had a
would've.
backup.
I don't think
Yeah.
they just, push things off a week.
Yeah, probably
It's
not.
the U.S. Air Force
Right,
in
right, right.
1947.
That's fair.
What rock floats in water?
Smooth.
No, hold on. What is a lava rock?
I think that's related, maybe. Pumice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very porous.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
once the pores fill up with water, it will sink.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yes. I have 2 more physics questions, and they're related, kind of. What are the 4 fundamental forces in nature?
It's an
Earth, wind, water, fire.
Through the elements.
I'm trying to think of the Hex Girls song. I love the Hex Girls.
With the Hex Girls.
Wind, water, and air.
They're so good.
Name the first one.
Strong nuclear force.
Okay, that's
Oh.
not what I was.
Me either.
Yeah, this took me back to physics. Once I
Okay.
heard them, I was like, okay, I remember learning this.
Okay, I'm definitely not going to get the rest of that.
Okay. You have any guesses, Brittany? Okay. Electromagnetic. Okay, so strong
that
nuclear
makes
force.
sense.
Yeah. The force that holds protons and neutrons together.
Okay.
Electromagnetic force.
Yep.
Everything that is like magnetic and electric combined.
Centrifugal force.
There we go.
Gravitational force.
Yep, gravitational
Okay, all right.
force, which we know what that is. Attraction between things that have mass.
Yep.
And the weak nuclear force, which is
Oh.
responsible. I don't understand what this is at all. It's responsible for radioactive decay of atoms,
Okay.
and it participates in nuclear fusion and fission,
Okay.
but it's very limited to subatomic distances, less than the diameter of a proton.
Yes. Which,
Teeny tiny.
Yes.
yes. And they are everywhere in like, because they're called neutrinos.
Right.
Which,
Yeah.
I read about neutrinos
Yeah.
when I was, yep.
And I guess
This
they
is
just
very
pass
confusing to
through
me.
you, and like they travel so fast that like, but when I started this sentence, the neutrino could be like past the sun at this point.
It sounds like they're very strong, but so small
Yeah.
that it like doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. It's like, why are we studying that?
I don't know.
And how did they
But
find
think
them?
about space.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
Makes no sense. Learned a little bit about those reading a Brian Greene book called The Fabric of the Cosmos, which is about string theory.
Sounds interesting.
Very interesting.
Above my head.
Mine
Sam,
too.
Sam. Took me a very
And I'm
long
okay
time
with
to read
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never going to know all that.
Nope.
So, which is the strongest fundamental force in the universe of those four?
Gravity. I don't know. Gravity.
What's your guess?
Magnetic.
The strong nuclear force.
I was gonna say that.
Okay.
It's 6,000 trillion times stronger than gravity, which is 39 zeros.
That sounds
How
like a
do
number.
They know that?
Sounds like a number I would have made up when I was 5.
Right?
6,000
The Google
trillion.
Plex.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so not usable.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
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 It's very hard to get
Okay.
protons and neutrons apart.
Apparently.
Makes
crazy.
nuclear fusion and fission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did Earth science, which is
Okay.
pretty close.
Oh, that's fair. Is there some overlap?
Different answers.
Same questions.
Same questions, different answers.
That'd be confusing.
I was only going off my knowledge.
Oh,
That's,
okay.
that's not true. Okay. So do you want to go back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do earth sciences. I think that sounds good.
Okay. What type of rock? So like yours were hard.
That's
you
fine.
said a mix.
Well,
There's no mix.
okay, I tried. I tried to think of ones that were... or
Yours
come
were
up with ones that-
interesting questions.
They were.
Things
they
that
were.
we'd think about.
This is
I think some of the
more
other ones will be easier.
like middle school speed.
Okay.
That's fair. I did trivia for adults. It's a fun trivia for adults about physics.
It was fun. What type of rock is formed from cooled and solidified magma?
Lava
Obsidian.
rock?
Igneous.
Igneous.
Okay.
Of which
igneous-
obsidian is a type of. Yes.
That
Right.
makes sense.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which layer of the Earth lies directly beneath the crust?
I don't know.
The mantle.
Got it.
I need to go back to 6th grade science.
I'm sorry, this is beneath you?
No, I don't know the answers.
That's fair. What is the process called when water vapor cools and changes back into a liquid form, often seen as clouds or dew?
Condensation.
Yeah.
Yep. And then last one, I just got 4 apiece. Which natural force is primarily responsible for shaping landscapes through the process of erosion?
Like water?
Water?
It is gravity.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
Gravity uses the water, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
True.
Okay.
Yep.
Good questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've got some for chemistry.
Brittany, this is you.
It's been 87 years.
That you checked your non-existent watch.
It's very funny.
Which chemical causes the burning taste sensation when eating chilies?
I have no
Which
idea.
chemical?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Chemical.
capsaicin.
Ah.
It's what?
Capsaicin.
Capsaicin.
I feel like
Okay.
I'd heard that before. Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting.
It is. What is the scientific name of the material commonly called fool's gold?
Pyrite.
Pyrite. Yeah.
Yep. What is the only letter that does not appear on the periodic table?
I knew this at one point in time.
I did not know it.
I don't know it anymore.
Y,
Nope.
X,
Nope.
T.
Nope.
What?
J. Yeah.
Junkston? Sounds like a thing.
In the United States, we use Fahrenheit, while much of the world uses Celsius. What unit do scientists all over the world use?
Probably
Kelvin.
Kelvin. Yeah.
Yep.
What is it called when a material goes from a solid to a gas without first becoming a liquid?
Evaporation? No?
That's what
A solid to a gas.
Solid to a
Not a
gas.
liquid to a gas. It skips the liquid state. I wouldn't have been able to come up with this, but once I saw the answer, I was like, okay, I've heard this before.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sublimation.
Oh, I have
Okay.
seen that word
Yeah.
before.
Interesting.
Last chemistry question. Approximately how many atoms are there in a human?
Yep. I have no idea.
I had no clue.
The 38 billion.
7 billion billion billion. 27 zeros.
Oh my gosh.
27 zeros.
I
Those
guess
are fake
28
numbers.
billion
How do
is-
they know
well,
that?
I don't know.
Makes
Like,
no
how
They
do
sense.
you,
must just,
what,
like-
what is built
Do that
and,
like...
and exists that they can count that?
I'm guessing it's more of like a, okay, there's this many in like your finger, so let me extrapolate.
Does that change based on how big you are
I don't
or how
know.
small
It
you are?
must.
Yeah, it has
Kids
to.
must have less. Is that approximately?
Yeah.
It must be like the
Yeah,
average.
Interesting.
thinking the average human.
Yeah.
Maybe they could just measure one and then,
Yeah.
Like-
Like, that's close enough.
yeah.
It's like the number of M&Ms in the jar.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Which in
Roughly
kindergarten
explained.
I would have said 78 billion billion billion.
Yes.
I got weather.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So, what scale is used to classify tornadoes based on damage intensity?
Oh, I know
Oh,
this.
it's yeah.
I
I will
don't
know it after you've said it.
Yeah.
The EF scale or enhanced Fujita?
Oh, maybe I didn't know it. That doesn't sound familiar.
What was the term for
I
the?
don't remember
Hold on.
them using an E. I always hear like F4 or F5,
Yeah.
Right.
but okay.
Maybe that might be for like size,
Okay.
and then the
Maybe
EF,
the E is something else.
Yeah, and EF is like
Intensity
How, yeah, the amount of damage that it can do.
Interesting. Okay.
What is the term for the boundary where two air masses of different temperatures meet?
A front.
Yes.
A cold front. and
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
actually what it is.
It's
Good
a
job.
front.
Cool.
Which instrument is used to measure humidity?
A barometer?
Oh, what?
That's air pressure,
Oh,
right?
dang.
What did you say?
Barometer.
Okay, nope.
Um.
I don't know.
Hygrometer.
No, I was
Okay.
not going to get that.
Nope. me
I don't
neither.
think I've heard of that.
I'm not.
What is the name of the scale used to classify hurricane strength?
I don't know.
I didn't know this one either.
I don't either.
I only know the earthquake one.
Richter.
That's the same one.
Yeah,
use
it's
the
the
Richter-
Richter scale.
Oh,
for-
I thought you were
That's
saying.
right. Yep.
I was like,
no, what?
Richter got around. Saphir Simpson.
Nope.
Oh, mm-mm.
Nope.
That's all mine.
Nope. Those were good.
Those were
Thank you.
interesting. Yeah.
Thank you. When you said 4 for each category, I thought we were going to do 4.
I said 4 to 5. I might have
You're
like.
doing like 8.
No, I did like. I did 5 and 6, and I have 7 for space. So sorry. Do you want me to
So-
skip some?
No, I
No,
don't.
no,
Not at
it's
all.
good.
No.
Go
It's
fast.
good.
So
Like I would have done more.
that's fair. I just found some that were interesting.
No, I love it. Your questions are great.
Thank you. These are good too.
Thank you.
What was the first animal to orbit Earth?
Is that a
Monk? Or was it a dog or a cat? Yeah, a
It was
dog.
a dog
Yeah.
named Laika.
yes?
We've got a book about her.
Is it Laika?
K.A., yep.
Okay.
I might be saying it wrong, but that seems
I've
I think
heard
that's how I would say it too.
I've heard it pronounced Laika.
Laika.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. That seems
Only
right.
based on the Arcade Fire. It's called Laika.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What is the name of the nearest galaxy to the Milky Way?
What is the name of it?
Andromeda.
Yep.
What is the age of the universe?
Is it 14.3 billion?
This is about 13.8, but that's
Okay, that's
basically
very
the
close.
same. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
at
That's-
that point, it's just a couple of zeros,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's a guess, so
We
I think
weren't
that's
around.
right, basically.
right? Okay.
What accounts for approximately 85% of matter in the universe?
Dark matter.
Yes. That's too much.
Way too much.
It's way too much.
Way too much.
That really scares me.
How do they know?
I don't know.
In high school, I would have said your mom.
Wow. You should be ashamed.
You should.
Just the general your mom.
Yeah. This is a two-parter. In what year did the first woman go to space?
Who was the first woman in space?
That's my second
I don't know the
question.
answer to that.
To 2087.
2087? Is a trick question.
What?
No
It's a
woman
trick
has gone to
question.
space.
No woman has gone to
No,
space.
that's not the answer. It was Valentina Tereshkova. In
So she was Russian.
1963.
Definitely.
Yes, she was
Okay.
part of the Soviet.
Oh,
She was
interesting.
a civilian that they selected.
Cool.
Okay.
It was interesting. Last question. How many humans have been in space?
Let's see.
I think more than I think there have been.
I was surprised. It was higher than I would have thought.
43.
I'm going to, like, even the
A
space
lot
station.
more.
Really?
Yes.
Space station
Well,
mirror
they're on a
has, like-
rotation, right?
yeah, they're still in space.
No, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
like, so
yeah.
there's always more going.
Yeah.
Like,
I say 17,508.
what?
628.
You said way higher.
Way higher than
Way higher than 43, like
That's
I
fair.
said.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If it was, you should have said 23. It would have
There you
freaked
go.
out.
I thought this was interesting. I have a breakdown of like from what countries
I have,
those people
I have
are
a
from.
question about
Yes.
that. Just to space. So
Just
that
so-
also
yeah.
includes like William Shatner and the people on Jeff
guess so.
Bezos's.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
379 were from the United States, which is like half, more than half.
Yeah.
128 from Russia, 22 from China, 14 from Japan, 12 from Germany, 10 from France, 9 from Italy, and then it just said other countries.
I see. Okay.
The rest.
Yeah. I thought that was it was less variety than I would have
It's like the
expected.
end of the
Yeah.
original Gilligan's Island song. And the rest.
And the rest.
Okay. All right.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Ready for math questions?
Sure.
We're ending on math.
Yep.
And we started with math.
That's right. Book ending it.
Yeah.
What's the name of the longest side of a right triangle?
Isosceles. No. What is
this? It's not the hypotenuse.
It is.
It is the hypotenuse.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you.
What do mathematicians call a number that is divisible by 1 and itself?
Prime.
Yup. What is the sum of the angles in any triangle?
180 degrees.
Yeah.
There you go. Did I only do 3 questions?
We appreciate it.
Math is short and sweet.
And done.
Yay.
Well, yep, I think that was it.
That felt good. We knew them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's all.
Cool.
Chloe's got space ones, right?
I did.
Oh, that was the space ones. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That was
And
fun.
now, where did they go?
What are you looking for?
I had like 20 different
Oh.
fun facts about the making of Twister. Oh, I got no. That's from last
yesterday.
time.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just
can come back
I'll
with
rattle
that.
it off the dome because I read that article.
Oh,
Okay. Give us some.
So the original lead for Twister was going to be Garth Brooks,
Whoa.
What?
That's
and he
interesting.
turned it down because he was like, "The main star's the tornado. No thanks."
He thought he was going to be upstaged
Yep,
by the tornado.
sure did.
That's hilarious.
Philip Seymour Hoffman only took the role because he wanted to move back to New York. Apparently, the director attacked like a lot of the staff, and people had to leave.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There are a lot of other. Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt got blinded temporarily
Oh.
because they use like this lighting system. It's supposed to look like stormy, and they had to pretty much like look at each other. But if the light was like right above you, which is like burning their
Oh.
retinas.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they
Not
both
worth it.
lost vision
Interesting.
like a couple of days.
At least they got it back, I guess.
I guess
That's true.
so.
Yeah. There's like
Cool.
a bunch more.
We can talk about him again. Twister is always relevant.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's
going
true.
to the Twister experience in Universal Studios.
I
That
did
would've
that
been
too.
cool.
That
Yeah.
was cool.
Oh,
That
I'm
was
so
really
jealous.
fun.
It's not there anymore.
Oh, that's tragic.
Twisters just came out.
I know.
They should put it back.
Should update it.
Yeah. After that movie, I thought I was going to become a tornado chaser.
A lot of people did, I think.
Oh, 100%. It's like my friend Shane and I would be like, "There's a cloud on the horizon. Let's go outside and role play." I'm Bill Paxton.
You're both Bill
You're
Paxton.
Helen
Yeah.
But I'm Bill Paxton from Alien.
Oh, I see.
I just watched that the other day.
It holds up.
Nice.
It's
It does.
good.
It's very good. Yeah.
Great example.
Creeping dread.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say great
Yeah.
example of like not overshowing
Yep.
or overselling it.
It's important.
It is. Well, there we go.
Yeah,
Great. That was fun.
it was.
I
It's
like
the
the
500s.
Yeah.
Sucks that Philip Seymour Hoffman is dead.
It does.
Bill Paxton too.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. Ooh, Helen Hunt better be
Yeah.
careful.
Ooh.
I think she's living a quiet life these days, not chasing tornadoes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Probably.
I think so. Well, yep.
Yep.
500s.
We'll be
Cool.
at some point doing the rest of the 500s. 'Cause
Yeah.
This was the first half.
Yes. So we got Dinosaur Wars.
Dinos.
Yeah.
Did you just say
Dinosaur.
Dino Star Wars?
Was it
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs?
Okay.
Like from Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs.
These little dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
So
Can't
good.
wait. Can't
Love
wait.
it.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Give us a like, a rating, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Yep. Let us know your favorite Twister trivia.
Yeah.
Everybody's got some.
Or space fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love it.
Cool.
Perfect. Well, goodbye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.